being situated in one's original constitutional position. Manasi, onto the mind. Avasthapya, placing. Vajasa, go on executing devotional service. Purusham, the Supreme Person. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. My dear boy, you also should take shelter of the Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is very kind to his devotees. Persons seeking liberation from the cycle of birth and death always take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord in devotional service, becoming purified by executing your allotted occupation. Just situate the Supreme Personality of Godhead in your heart and without deviating for a moment, engage always in his service. Purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The system of Bhakti Yoga described by Queen Suniti to her son is the standard way of God realization. Everyone can continue in his constitutional occupational duties and at the same time keep the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart. This was also instructed by the Lord Himself to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Go on fighting, but keep me in your mind, within your mind. That should be the motto of every honest person seeking perfection of in Krishna consciousness. In this connection, Queen Suniti advised her son that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Vritya Vatsala, which indicates that he is very kind to his devotees. He said, "You come to me crying, having been insulted by your stepmother, but I am unable to do any good for you. But Krishna is so kind to his devotees that if you go to him, then the combined kindness of millions of mothers like me will be surpassed by his affectionate and tender dealings. When everyone else falls to mitigate one's misery, Krishna is able to help the devotee." Queen Suniti also stressed that the process of approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not easy, but is sought after by great sages who are very advanced in spiritual realization. Queen Suniti also indicated by her instruction that Dhruva Maharaj was only a small child, 5-year-old, and it was not possible for him to purify himself by the way of karmakanda. But by the process of bhakti yoga, even a child less than 5-year old or anyone of any age can be purified. This is the special significance of bhakti yoga. Therefore, she advised him not to accept worship of the demigods or any other process, but simply to take the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the result would be all perfection. As soon as one places the Supreme Personality of Godhead within one's heart, everything becomes easy and successful. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखावितं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्य Jagannathaye te namo. So thank you so much for joining this wonderful Sangha. So here Mother Suniti is advising his son Dhruva, who just went through a humiliation from his stepmother just few verses ago. And in this verse, Mother Suniti is reinforcing some of the things her her husband's wife, other wife, Suruchi, heard the abuse to Dhruva at that point in time. At that time, Dhruva was not a tent, So we'll refer to him as Dhruva, not Dhruva Maharaj. So for the context of the discussion. So Mother Suniti is aligning with Mother Suruchi. Mother Suruchi has hurled abuse to Dhruva, and that is very offending to Mother Suniti as well. But Mother Suniti is aligning with Mother Suruchi. So there are a lot of things we're going to discuss about this verse and what we can learn and what we can internalize from this verse, which is why we are here today to discuss the transcendental pastimes of the Lord and how this supreme scripture is going to affect us in a positive way. So, in a typical situation, when two, if I may, co wives are related, they are often related by an element of hate, by an element of disagreement, and that leads to one of the co wives instigating the son against the other co-wife. But look at what Mother Suniti is doing here. Look at the level of Mother Suniti. Mother Suniti is saying Mother Suruchi, who abused Dhruva, and said two or three things. First thing is, you don't deserve a place in your father's lap. At the time, there were Dhruva and Uttama who were in that scene, who are sons of Uttanapad. In front of the co-brother, rather brother, not co-brother really. Co-brother is often referred to sadhus. Uh, Here, they are his brother actually, from the same father but different mother. Dhruva and Uttama were in that scene. Uttama's mother is Suruchi. Dhruva's mother is Suniti. Suruchi hurled abuse at her stepson in front of Uttama. Very sad, very sad. And she said two or three things. First thing is, you don't deserve a place in your father's lap. The second thing she said is, in order to get a position in your father's lap, you have to take birth from my womb. That means you have to first die, indirectly speaking. You have to first die and take birth under my womb. It's very hurling, abusing, if you think about it. And the third thing Mother Suruchi said with so much of anger, with so much of grudge, is you have to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who are in your ancestral path. In the ancestral path of Uttanapad, there is Brahma, Brahmaji, and Manuji who had come before, and they have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Suruchi is hurling the abuse to Dhruva, saying that go and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are the three things Mother Suruchi has said to Dhruva. The third thing about taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that aspect is aligned by Mother Suniti. Think about the positivity of that. Even if they're fighting, even if there is grudge, even if there is hurling of abuses, but Mother Suniti is agreeing with Mother Suruchi, saying that the lotus feet of the Lord is the last resort. And then she's saying Vatshrashraya. That means Vatsha is Vatsa is often referred to as disciples. We are disciples of our Gurudev. We are Vatsas, or we are uh, disciples. So here he's saying, Vatsa, my dear boy, you take the shelter, Ashraya, of whom? Who is very dear to his devotees, who is Vritya Vatsalam. So take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God, who is very dear to his devotees. And here the word used for the lotus feet is Padabja, that means lotus feet. So today we are going to discuss about the glories of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as to why it is significant for all the practitioners who are practicing this method of bhakti yoga or the spirit of devotion. So when we think about lotus feet, what do we often say? We often say that it is the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and often you will see references that the lotus feet of the Lord has inscription of, the conch of the powerful Gada, and putting our mind in the lotus feet of the Lord is going to help us in our ability to remember Lord. That is one thing. But first, why is the Lord's feet compared to lotus? Let's discuss that. So, as you know, lotus is a stem which comes out from a very muddy pond. But when you take out the stem of the lotus, there is hardly any iota of mud in the lotus stem. Even if the lotus is living his entire life with muddy surroundings, it is untouched. And there are references to our life being compared to water droplets on the leaves of lotus, because the water can anytime fall off, because it is not, it is there but it is not there. It is there in the mud, but actually it's not affected by the mud. The water is just literally surviving on the leaves of the lotus. So lotus is synonymous with the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is referred as Trigunatit. That means we are all controlled by these three gunas, the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. But Lord is Trigunatit. His Atit means he's beyond. Atit means past. So Trigunatit, he's beyond these three gunas. So he is untouched. He is untouched by the mud of the pond. The leaves of a lotus are untouched. That's why they say Kamala Jalamala Jivana Talamala. That means our life is tottering like a water droplet on the leaves of Kamala, lotus. And because of that, we should take resort of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So coming back to the main topic of why Lord's feet is compared, because Lord, even if he can come in to our lives, but he doesn't lose his aura of unaffected by the modes. So that's why Lord's feet is compared to lotus. And lotus feet has so many inscriptions as we discussed. And also if you look at Srimad Bhagavatam, the first two chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam is compared with the lotus feet of the Lord. That's the reason why when Srila Prabhupada started this process of translating, and whenever he used to hear all the Kathakars during Kartik glorifying the Ras Leela of the Lord, which is actually in the 10th canto, Lord Srila Prabhupada used to be very critical about uh, the Kathakars who do not take enough time to discuss about the creation of this universe, the primary creation of the universe, Sarga, or the secondary creation of the universe, Visarga, which were dwelt in chapter in Canto 1 and 2, which is like lotus feet, which is the foundation of this entire creation. The Sarga, Visarga, and the 10 attributes of Srimad Bhagavatam, so nicely documented in Canto 1 and 2, which is compared with the lotus feet. So, lotus feet of the Lord is the foundation. And anytime a devotee takes resort in the lotus feet of the Lord, the devotee is content because once he has surrendered, he is not fearful of anything. People are fearful because when they know that there is no one to protect. Many people in this world talks about confidence building, how to stand up, how to go against the crowd, how to be one and only. But actually, if you think about it, at the time of crisis, at the time of health situations, they are the most fearful persons you can ever think of because they have nowhere to go because they have not seen fear in their life. But a devotee, through his actions, through his reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, through the activities of Bhakti Yoga, he or she has realized that my position is in the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord is going to protect me. When you know that the Lord is protecting you, you have nothing to fear. That's why devotees are fearless in their ability to do things. Look at Srila Prabhupada. At the age of 69, most of the people are in their uh, in their health challenges, and they are pretty much residing wherever they're residing. They're hardly they want to come anywhere. But look at the fearlessness of His Divine Grace through 30 days of voyage on a freight ship. He came just to give out something what his spiritual master instructed him because he was fearless. He was not caring for his life because he knows that Krishna is going to protect him. So, when we are surrendering on the lotus feet of the Lord, it is not a meek strategy. It's actually a very powerful strategy because you know that the Lord is going to protect. So, on this topic of the lotus feet, we spoke about why Lord's feet is compared with the lotus because he is Trigunatit. In spite of the mud, it doesn't get entangled by the impurities of this material life. And also, we discussed about the power of surrender as to why devotees who are surrendered souls are not meek and fearful, rather, they are fearless because there is Lord to protect him. So, there is this beautiful episode where there is a frog when Lakshmi was massaging the feet of Narayan. There is this frog in the ocean who wanted to get the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan in this context. And Lakshmi, you know, put the frog aside when she was massaging the feet of the Lord. And at the time, Narayan looked at the frog and had benedictions that in Treta Yuga you will get the benefit of massaging my feet and serving my feet. And fast forward in Treta Yuga, when the tribal king Nishadraj is about to drop Lord Ram, Lakshman, and Mother Sita on the banks, and he was looking for a boatman who could take the Lord to the other side. The boatman said, I have heard that touching the footsteps of the Supreme Person, a stone has become a lady. Mother Ahalya's pastime, you all may have heard. So if I make this person, the Supreme Person, sit in my boat. My boat will turn into a lady and I will lose my livelihood because I have nothing to work towards my livelihood about. So I won't. Because he is constantly having that interaction with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that the Supreme Personality of Godhead will seek to get the association he once tried several lives ago when he was a frog with the Lakshmi Narayan pastime. And now he is Kevat, who is trying to take the Lord from one bank to another. And after doing massaging of the feet of the Lord, of the lotus feet of the Lord, the beautiful feet of the Lord, he makes everyone seated on the boat, Lord Ram, Lord Lakshmanji, and Mother Sita, and so beautifully uh, he is looking at Lord Ram. He is impressioning Lord Ram. He is doing mananam, as they say, remembering Lord Ram, and with the full bhakti, he left from one bank to another with Lord Ram, and he is serving in that mode. That his aspect of desire of serving the lotus feet of the Lord got fulfilled in his life when he is a boatman. And you know the beautiful pastime of Kevat and Lord Ram's interaction. Basically, it's one of the topmost bhakti principles you can ever think of, is to serve the lotus feet of the Lord, and thereby he he got liberated by serving the lotus feet of the Lord. So, as devotees, we should aspire to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. And uh, when we have darshan, it is mentioned by our acharyas that we should always serve, we should start our darshan from the lotus feet of the Lord and not start and gradually go up, because uh, devotees want to be under the eyes, under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and stay in the confines of the lotus feet of the Lord, and not and be humble in that attempt. So, in that vein, Mother Suniti is saying your stepmother Suruchi has said the same thing, has said the right thing, that you should take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. And here, and Lord's love for his devotees is compared as how a cow loves her calf. Bhakta Vatsala. Vatsa is nothing but calf. So when mother is mother cow knows that the calf is nicely fed before milking, you'll see mother cow giving loads of milk which he can coolly she will give milk without any hindrance. But once she knows that the calf is left hungry and the owner of the cow is trying to milk, the cow is not going to give milk with a lot of love. It will be a lot of difficulty by which the owner of the cow can milk in that situation. And whenever you see a calf meeting the cow after a long time, like the calf has left mother for gazing in the morning and coming back, the love is so much that mother cow will be licking the cow. This kind of love between a cow and a calf is the topmost level of expression of love you will see ever. Nowadays, with connectivity, people are not really missing anyone else. There is not that much of expression of love which is happening nowadays. But once upon a time, when you used to come back from your hostels after 3 months, 6 months, the amount of love in the first 1 hour, 6 hours on the first day of reaching for vacation. There is to be so much beautiful exchanges. That mellow is actually being taken away by the current lifestyle, where the communication has made it easy and it has helped us to be safe in terms of unsafe conditions. However, that mellow of exchange of love, our ability to go and drop somebody in the railway station or airport, that used to evoke a tremendous sense of love, which hardly now is seen anywhere. So that's why Lord is said to be Bhakta Vatsala. Vatsala means he loves like how a cow loves the cow, and that is very sweet. So whenever we have an opportunity to serve the cows and calves, let's open our hearts, my dear devotees, and serve. And that is the reason why Srila Prabhupada and trying to take a leaf from Lord Krishna, who had tremendous amount of love for cows. Krishna's love for cows. When Mother Yashoda wants to, from Govardhan pastime, when Mother Yashoda wants to make two slippers for Lord, Lord is saying, Mother, can you make slippers which is for my 900,000 cows I gaze every day, 900,000 multiplied by 4 slippers? And hearing that, the cows used to cry that how much love Lalla has to the cows. So beautiful pastime. So Lord is, so just to summarize a couple of things, why Lord's feet is compared with lotus, why we should invest our bhakti in the lotus feet of the Lord is the second thing, and why Lord is mentioned as Bhakta Vatsala, the Vatsa aspect of the loving exchanges between cow and the calf. So, with that, I'd like to end today's conversation by glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord and hope someday our eyes are locked on the lotus feet of the Lord and we gain inspiration and gain surrender from this loving exchange. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mr. Gampal. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead, a very festive week going on. Today is also Bhai Dooj. We like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Shinu Singha Jai Singha Jai Jai Singha Praladesha
Prahlades
Jaya
Jaya
Padma Mukha
Padma
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 Bhringam
Bhingam,
Bringam,
Ugram
Ugra Veeram
Ugraveeram
Mahavishwam Jalatam
Jalatam
Sarvabhaumam Singam Bhishtanam Bhadranam
Darshanam
Pranamya
Bhishna,
Namamyam
Namaste.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai Prahlad ki Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa
Kripa
sindhubhya
Sindhu
eva cha
Patitanam
patitanam
Pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
namo
Namaha.
Namah Vaishnavinda ki jai.
Jai.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे
Hari 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 Bol.
हरि बोल।
Jai Mother Goodness.
Thank you, everybody. Hari Bol.
Haribo.